Hi guys, it's Dina, and welcome back to my channel, or just Dina's Peachy House. So today's video is going to be about the cage sizes and literally what people are doing to their hamsters. So yeah, that's just what we're going to be talking about today. So to start off, your hamster needs a minimum of 450 square inches of floor space, and it should at least be 12 inches tall for dwarf and Syrians. So just saying. Some cages are so small for your hamster, but people sell them anyway, and they are saying it's for hamsters. I'm just so upset right now. Okay, so a lot of people buy their hamsters and then they squish them into really small cages, which is not good. They do not deserve that. If you want to get a hamster, you have to actually be prepared of the right size cage that you're going to give them, because hamsters do need a big cage no matter how small they are. So my hamster right now is in the Habitrail cage of OVO, and that's such a good cage for your hamster. It's really big, a lot of space. Just kidding. Not true. That cage is so small, and even though if my hamster is in it, it's only temporary, okay? She is not going to be in it for much longer. I'm actually going to transfer her into a new cage today. So it's the DINA'S cage, and it is 459 square inches of floor space, which is awesome. I cannot wait for her to be in that bigger cage. Roughly, the Habitrail cage is only 180 square inches of floor space, roughly, because the sides are curved, so it's really hard to tell. But yeah, so yeah, it is a really small cage. Habitrail is just such a small cage. There are so many different types of Habitrail cages and different versions of it. All of those are so small. They're too small. So do not buy it. Please do not. Consider getting the aquarium tank for the fishes. Those come in really good sizes, and you don't have to worry about your hamster escaping. They come with ventilated lids for you. And you can also get the bin cages. You just have to DIY them and make sure that you provide your hamster with enough ventilation. They're so cheap, and you can get them from the store. They have so many different sizes of bins that you can do for your hamster. I have a bin cage right now for my hamsters, so excited for that. So yeah. Alright, so basically what people are doing is they get a hamster and then they stuff them in such small cages, such as Critter Trail, KT, Habitrail, and all of those types of cages. Like, look at this. That is so small. I also had the wheel, and it's so noisy. Like, the wheel is literally really noisy. So, yeah. But honestly, all of the cages that comes with wheels, they are really noisy. I prefer the silent runner or the flying saucer. I'm really into the flying saucer because it doesn't curve their backs, and it's really silent. Like, I barely hear anything at night when she runs on it. Like, it's such a fast, clean, spinning wheel. I love how it spins. So it's really good. I love it. So I really recommend the flying saucer or the $30 silent spinner. But they're both expensive because they're really good wheels. The silent spinner is way more expensive though, because it's really big and it's really silent. So it's even more silent than a flying saucer. But I honestly just stick with the flying saucer because I really like those wheels. Okay, so going back to the cage sizes, you should provide your hamster with a minimum of 450 square inches of floor space or 110 quarts. Okay? So, if you are not providing your hamster that, then you should really get a bigger cage if you want your hamster to thrive. And you don't have to panic and like say, oh my gosh, I have to get a cage right now. She's gonna die. If you're keeping your hamster in a very small cage, they will not die, but it could really stress them out. And that is not good because it can cause illnesses for your hamster, which could actually lead to death. So, you want to provide your hamster with a really big cage. I will show the bin cage that I have for my hamster right now, which I'm going to transfer her into when she's awake. So I will show you the cage at the end. I've already DIY'd it. I might have to make 2 more holes because I don't know. I'll see. But I'll show you the cage that I'm going to put her at the end. But I'm going to show you a few pictures of what people are doing to their hamsters. They buy hamsters and then they just house them in the tiniest. So, yeah. Where was I? Okay, so as I was saying, these are not good for your hamster. Although it may seem fun and interesting with all the different types of levels, these are actually really small for your hamster, and I don't recommend them. So, don't get that. Let's see what else people are doing to their hamsters.
What? No. What?
This can't be a cage. Oh my gosh. This is supposed to be a cage for your hamster. That is so small. It literally says hamster house transparent cage. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's not good. Okay, enough of that. So, yeah. So you don't want to do any of those things. In fact, I'm going to show you pictures of the small cages that you should not be putting your hamster in. Okay, now that you've seen that, those are really, really small cages for your hamster. You should not keep them in there for their life. That is not good. That is so small. I know that I'm keeping my hamster in this tiny, tiny habitual cage, but again, that is only temporary. I will be changing her into the really big cage today, so don't worry. She's not going to stay in that for much longer. She's going into this really big bin cage today. So it's all good, guys. It's all good. But I still can't believe it. How could that be a cage? So please don't stuff your hamsters in small cages. I will repeat myself. Give your hamster a minimum of 450 square inches of floor space and at least get it to be 12 inches tall for your hamster. That is just the best that you can ever give your hamster if you want them to live a happy life and thrive. Now, if you do have a hamster that is living in a small cage, don't feel bad. I have made this mistake myself. I had a hamster before and I kept her permanently in a really small cage. It was 222 square inches, I think, maybe a little bit more. But it was a really small cage and that was like my first time being a hamster owner. I honestly did not understand much. I did my research, but I didn't understand much about hamsters back then, but now I do, and I know that they do need a really big cage. So please always provide your hamster with a minimum of space, like a lot of space. So just saying that. And yeah, so I'm going to be showing you the cage before I go. Right, so here is her new upcoming cage. Don't know if you can tell, but I made holes in the lid. I made a really big one. That looks funny. Hello. And a really big one over here. And then I made a bunch of small holes all around there. So, yeah. So, this is a very big cage. Not cage. I keep calling it cage. You know what? I'll just call it cage since it is actually going to be a cage, but it's a bin. But I'm just going to call it cage. So this is a really big one. It has a lot of space for the hamster, and it is 459 square inches of floor space, and it's about 9 inches tall and 8 inches wide. Tall. So yeah, it's a really good one. And then I will make a video on how to prevent your hamster from biting on the cage bars and biting on the plastic. If you do have a if you do have a bin cage that is plastic and your hamster is constantly biting it, I will give you some tips and things that you can actually completely prevent your hamster from biting it. So yeah, I will be making that video tomorrow. But that is it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot and that you should always provide your hamster with a